Today, we are going to discuss licensing SBIR, STTR data and technologies. Consider licensing a permit to use, just like your driver's license allows you to use the public roads. It's a permission to drive an SBIR, STTR technology, and there are rules connected with it. The licensee will have to stay in the agreed upon lane. We will call these lanes fields of use. We're going to talk about the many issues that relate to licensing, both in the federal contracting environment and in the commercial sector. We will discuss critical elements of a license, why the SBIR or STTR funded firm cannot transfer Phase 3 rights through a license, and how an SBIR or STTR firm can license with a prime through a subcontract. As in the prior sections, we will refer to SBIR, STTR as SBIR for convenience. The data rights for both are identical and they can use the same clauses. Below, the term SBIR, whenever it is used, will also refer to STTR unless otherwise noted. Licensing under a patent is very common. But if the SBIR firm did not patent and is protecting its SBIR data by means of the government's non-disclosure obligation, then licensing will permit another firm to use the small firm's SBIR data and its underlying technology. The SBIR firm owns its SBIR data and the government receives a license in it. A prime federal contractor may wish to use the SBIR data and technology on a prime contract, and this can lead to a desire by the prime contractor to sublicense the SBIR data. The SBIR firm should restrict the prime contractor's ability to sublicense the SBIR data without the SBIR firm's consent. In a contract, a license to a commercial firm will normally result in a freestanding license of both the SBIR data and the technology associated with it, or rights under a patent. Fields of use establish the boundaries for use of the SBIR data by the licensee, which is the receiver or beneficiary of the license. It is recommended that you limit the field of use to the extent possible. There are some common fields of use for federal contractors. When a large prime contractor seeks access to an SBIR technology, limit the field of use to performance on the prime's contract, grant, or other funding agreement. That limitation is quite common. It is a wise policy for the SBIR firm to seek a subcontract to the prime so that it can monitor the prime's use of the SBIR data and technology, and also assure that they're being implemented correctly. A wider use would be to allow the prime contractor's use of the SBIR data or technology on the program referenced in the contract. For instance, the Aegis program or a NASA-funded program. That is a much broader license because the prime contractor may get additional program contracts that don't include the SBIR firm. Yet, the prime contractor would still have a license to use the SBIR data and technology for performance of the additional program contracts. An even wider field of use would be an agency-wide license for use with a particular agency, or an agreement that would allow use of the SBIR technology under any funding agreement with the federal government. That type of license would prohibit use only in the commercial sector and should constitute the widest license granted in the federal contracts market. SBIR data rights require special handling and licensing. The SBIR funded firm must protect its SBIR data from non-disclosure in any license. A license is a permit to use but may not address non-disclosure. Be certain that a non-disclosure agreement is in effect. The non-disclosure agreement can be written into the license if one does not already exist, or the pre-existing non-disclosure agreement can and should be incorporated by reference into the license if it exists. This is particularly important when the SBIR-funded firm is a subcontractor to a prime contractor